Hi, Tuesday, August 16th, 2016. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Today I'm going to talk about it's the currency, stupid. And that's using a slogan Bill Clinton used to defeat George Herbert Walker Bush in the 1992 presidential election in the United States. U.S. economy wasn't doing well at all. So, Bill Clinton, under the guidance of James Carville, who was his campaign manager, used that term. It's the economy, stupid. And the U.S. economy wasn't doing well, and it led to him winning the presidency. So why it's the currency, stupid? Well, I think a lot of people don't focus on currency. And, Americans can be forgiven for that because the U.S. dollar has been the reserve currency since 1945 or so, maybe a little earlier. And so the dollar is the dollar, like former Treasury Secretary John Connolly said in the 70s to foreign officials who complained about the debasement of the dollar. He said, well, the dollar is our currency, but it's your problem. And it's the same thing now. Very few people, the average person, or even, the average person in the street, all they worry about in the US is the Dow Jones. It's making all-time highs. Here in the UK, I've noticed recently a lot of people telling me, oh, I've done really well, my pension, the FTSE has gone up, I'm making thousands. And, I've tried to tell people, yes, you might be making, 10% on the FTSE this year and your portfolio is doing well, but what about the pound, and I think, they can't be to blame because all the media, mainstream media, talk about is the FTSE. When they talk about the pound, they talk about it, very, they just say, oh, the pound buys $1.30, the pound buys €1.15, but they don't say that it's, how much it's dropped over the last few months or last few years. And the fact that everything that's bought in this country is priced in terms of pounds. So if the pound's going down against other currencies, especially the reserve currency, the dollar, that's going to translate to higher inflation, higher costs of living. And I would argue that's already been happening here in the UK for, since 2008. That's why, the 99%, the working class, if you want to call it that. I don't like using the term class, but that's to make it easier. Everyone's feeling the pinch, except people who have a lot of assets, like, property or real estate, stocks. They're fine. They're feeling wealthier. But I think it's a fallacy because you need to look at the currency because that's what everything in a specific country is priced against. And if the currency is dropping too quickly, that's not a very good sign. Look what happened in the period between 1921 and 1923 in the Weimar Germany. I know stocks did all right in Weimar, but the currency was obliterated. You would have done a lot better by owning gold and silver. So, for my viewers in the UK and also in the US, because I read a few years ago, because as most of you probably know, the Anglo-American financial establishment, they work together. So they're always doing things together. And I don't think anything is done by accident. So I read something that back in the 60s or early 70s, when the pound was devalued, you could bet that a few months or a year or so later, the dollar would be devalued as well, that they did it, they orchestrated that. So, this video here is, will help, hopefully, people in the UK, but should also be a warning for people in the United States. And the way the currency is devalued in the United States is against gold and silver. And we're already seeing this year. I know we're below the all-time high. So starting with the pound, if you look at the pound against the euro, I'll look, big trading partner, Europe, I'll look at against the euro. Earlier in July last year, 2015, the pound was buying €1.44. As of today, at 9 a.m. London, the pound was buying €1 14.77. So a 20% drop in just over a year against the euro. If you don't think that's gonna impact things in the UK, you've got your head in the sand. Now against the dollar, which is the reserve currency of the world, so a lot of things are priced against dollars. In June 2014, so just over 2 years ago, £1 bought $1.7181. Right now, this was at 9 a.m. £1 was buying $1.2925. So that's down 24.77%. Let's say down 25%. That's a drop of a quarter of its value against the dollar. That's over 2 years. And the other currency I'm gonna look at is the Aussie dollar. I know I've got quite a few viewers in Australia, and it's the sterling versus the Aussie dollar. And a lot of people in the UK travel to Australia. They have a lot of relatives over there. So back in August last year, £1 bought $2.2359. Right now, as of 9 a.m. London today, it was buying $167.56. That's a drop of 25% in in 1 year in the pound against the Aussie dollar. And that's also, Aussie dollar is a good indicator for commodities. So the pound is being debased. It's going to end, it's like the story of the frog. You put a frog in a pot and you start boiling the water. The frog doesn't really, he starts feeling the water warming up and getting a little hotter. And then when it starts boiling, it's too late for him to jump out, for the frog. So I think that, excuse me, that's what's being done to the general public in the UK. Brexit, of course, has been used as an excuse, and for the pound, the debasement of the pound or the devaluation of the pound. And only governments and the central banks can do this, and they're doing it by design. They've used the Brexit crisis as an excuse, to do this, so the public won't get angry at them. They can always say, "Oh, it's Brexit's fault." It's Rahm Emanuel, former chief of staff, I think, to Obama and mayor of Chicago, he said, never waste a crisis. Always do things during crisis that you could normally not. So there you go, you see. So the other point I like to make about the pound is that from 2008, November 2007, the pound was buying $2.11. So that's a drop of about 39% in almost 10 years. That's quite a big chunk. So yeah, it's the currency, stupid. I'm not having a go at you. It's just a term. It's the currency, stupid. Everyone's focusing, oh, the FTSE's doing well, my pension's doing really well. And it will protect you. Having ownership of companies, UK companies that actually have dollar earnings, that will help you. But don't think that you're getting wealthier. Even people who own gold and silver, the only way really you can get wealthier is to accumulate more and more gold and silver. But I think in terms of protecting your wealth, gold and silver will still do better. I made a video about a week ago about how gold and silver have outperformed the FTSE, and I'll put it in the card above in the information, the top right hand side of the video. So yeah, this applies to the UK public, people who watch my videos, but don't be mistaken, Americans or other people in the world. It will only get worse. The dollar will also devalue, and it will be against gold and silver, which it already has this year anyway. So if you enjoy my analysis, please like, share, and subscribe. I also accept donations. I've got a few links below, one to Bitcoin, one to PayPal, and one to Patreon. I know, PayPal and Patreon are paid in dollars or pounds, but at the moment, that's the way it works. Hopefully, be able to transfer those funds eventually to real money. So take care and enjoy your day. Bye.